I'm Ali Canny. I'm general manager of Shield.
Well, what is Shield by Nvidia?
Shield is our Android TV device. It's the world's most advanced smart TV platform based on Android TV. It's the first 4K set-top box that is going to come to market and gives you access to a whole world of apps from the Android ecosystem, whether it's 4K content, movies, TV shows, music, apps, or a great variety of games.
How did the first two Shield devices help Nvidia develop the Shield console?
Okay, so actually it really has been a journey for us. The first Shield device, the portable, was essentially the platform where we basically introduced it. And we wanted to put a platform out there that can give you access to a controller so people could build games on Android that was based on a controller. There were no games on Android at the time that were controller friendly. They were all touch based. And that device actually was very successful in becoming the standard upon which all games are built on Android. Android took the Shield APIs for controller and implemented it and made it the standard for the Android OS. Now we have over 500 games in the Android ecosystem based on controller, and Shield really helped drive that. The tablet kind of became our second platform, and that's where we started to really take advantage of our learning. So we built a tablet, so it's more of a standard device that the market would be aware of, and really put us on the map. There were a lot of reviews and customers who said, hey, you know what, this is one of the best tablets we could buy. And sort of the industry started to recognize NVIDIA is actually building really compelling Shield devices, and we've taken all of that learning in terms of being able to have great games, being able to build great products, to bring our third device to market, which is the Shield Android TV device.
What were your goals heading into development of this Android TV console?
So I think what we felt was the living room was really being revolutionized. There were a couple things happening. Channels were starting to become apps. So you saw that Netflix really drove this industry trend for cord cutters, where 40 million people became Netflix subscribers in the US. Netflix essentially started to dwarf HBO in terms of a type of content that people would consume. And so all the other app providers released their apps over the air to consumers. And so after those channels became apps, then we started seeing that there's a desire to build that operating system into the living room so that you could basically have an app store that's connected to the internet in your living room. And so Android released this Android TV operating system. Apple is talking about releasing an iOS version, App Store version of the Apple TV. And so what we thought is this is such a great opportunity for us to take all this innovation we have in visual computing to put together a solution in the living room that has access to the largest operating system in the world, Android, and gives customers access to great content, music, apps, and games.
What powers this device?
So the device is based on our Tegra X1 processor, and it's really a revolutionary processor. It's 30 times the performance of an Apple TV or a Roku today, and you can take that functionality and performance to give a solution that is a lot snappier and faster than other streaming devices. Now that you have an app store available in the living room, you want to be able to play those apps, and so you'll have the fastest app performance on the device, and then because of that performance you can also use it to play a class of games that wasn't before possible in the mobile landscape.
What does the super chip open up for gameplay?
So I think we were just sort of talking about that. Traditionally in an Android or iOS, the types of games you could play are touch-based games, but what the processor enables now is that we could actually take games that are console class and actually just enable them on the Android ecosystem. So for example, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is a game that's selling at $49 on Steam today, and that game actually is available within a month of our launch on Android TV. Talos Principle actually won't be available on PlayStation 4 until August, but that'll be available first on Android TV in May with our launch, so we can sort of give you access to this really premium gameplay that wasn't even possible before on any Android device.
Can you walk us through how Grid works?
Sure. So, Grid is essentially our game streaming service. So what essentially we've done is we've created a Netflix for games. And so what we've done is we've built data centers across the globe. Actually, we have a few in the United States, a few in Europe, one in APAC. We've put our GPUs, GTX 980 class GPUs, these are $500 graphic cards, in the cloud, and we're basically playing these games in the cloud, compressing and encoding them, streaming it to the Shield device locally at your home, decompressing, and then you can basically get this, GTX 980 class performance on your Shield device. So that's multiple performance of what you could get on a PlayStation 4 or Xbox. You can get that experience in your home. And what we've done is, because we've curated the whole experience ourselves, from the server to the client, we've made the whole experience really low latency, so you feel like you're actually playing that game locally on your device.